Good evening and welcome to the Laughing Monkey Music Show. Today we're on Phil Lewis, Phil's of LA Guns. How are you?
Hello, I'm doing good. How you doing, Sean?
Good, good, good. I'm glad we could finally talk. It's been a long time I've wanted to talk to you. Like most people, I've been a fan of you since first album. I mean, a fan of the band, all versions of
Thank
the
you.
band, and all the people in the band. So, through the years. And we're talking about the new album. I've had a chance to listen to it. But I do want to say what's really crazy is even between all different versions of the bands, besides having people check this out, people need to go back and check out the other albums too. I mean, there's been different lineups with the band, but even when you were playing
To
guitar in the
say the
band,
least.
there's been like two or three other people. I think it's not a lot of big changes. But the point is,
No,
it's fun. I like the fact that the band's kept on. Like Deep Purple or a lot of my favorite bands. Yes, it just adds a different flavor to the band. You know,
I think we got the dubious achievement of actually having something like, oh, I think last count it was up to like 58 members. 58 people are out there that
that's pretty
that
awesome,
that can
actually.
that can say at some point they've been in LA Guns. I haven't met them all, but they're out there. Well, yeah, I mean it's a band that's been around, for
30,
like
35,
yeah,
yeah,
like
35 years maybe.
yeah. Obviously, it's going to go through tons of lineup changes, and it's a band. It's a working band. It's a fluid band. It's obviously people are going to come and go.
Yeah.
I enjoy the journey. I enjoy working with all these amazing musicians. But ultimately, at the end of the day, when it comes down to it, it's me and him, isn't it?
Well, you guys have definitely the sound that most people know is Tracy's guitar and your voice is but that
Yeah.
doesn't take away from some of the other songs you guys have done. Though I do want to say like Vampires and and some of the other stuff you've done are really good songs out there. I just want to encourage
Thank
people
you
to
very
check out.
much.
Just
Now I know, I'm very proud of that stuff.
yeah,
I just felt, when I did agreed to do the reunion, we were just going to start from scratch. I didn't really want Tracii learning how to play. Oh, what's it? You better not love me. It's a bit beneath him. You know, I've no doubt he could play it great, but no, I'm proud of that stuff, but I like this because he I like having a musical director,
yeah,
especially for something like this. The other stuff, I was just writing songs on myself. That were just stuff that I'd write from scratch and
yeah.
write it in the morning and record it that night. And I still do that, and I really like doing that. But no, since this reunion, he's so prolific. He's got so many ideas that it really. I just go with it. It's hard enough to keep up, let alone contribute other material. However, he's cool about that. Like the other guys, like Ace and Johnny.
Yeah.
They've got songs on the record. They're bringing stuff on, and it was a gas. We were out on the road last summer with Tom Kiefer, that Sonic Slam tour, and we were recording on the tour bus on like days off or before sound checks, and it was great. It was especially after being locked down for the pandemic. The record we made before that, Checkered Past, we all did that remotely from home, and it desolate. It was so boring. It was so boring to be
Record it.
record it, and then afterwards to be with the guys on the bus recording. It just felt really really good. So I think this record has got a much livelier feel.
I agree.
Um,
It
yeah,
feels urgent.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
when Missing Piece came out, everyone's like, "Oh, okay, the voice and the guitar back together again." It doesn't matter.
yeah.
I'll be honest. I'm not getting the name thing. It doesn't matter what you call it. Your voice and Tracy's guitar sound together is something that people like.
It's
And
a good chemistry. I agree. It's good combination, and we enjoy it, and it's certainly a challenge for me because he's really really good. He's as a musician, he's like virtuoso, and I'm just a singer in the band. So I've got to step my game up. That's for sure.
Well, you're still doing live vocals, so you're already halfway there. You're already beating half of
Thanks.
the touring bands, and you're hitting all the notes still. You know.
I sure am. Thank you.
Well, so let's talk about the album. Now, I dig this album. To me, I dig almost most songs, a good chunk of songs from most of the LA Guns catalog, so I'm very familiar with it. Probably, maybe not the American Hardcore album. That's probably one album I'm gonna say. I'm not gonna say that's my. I'm not gonna diss it. It might be a Lulu to me. It's not my album. You know, it can be.
Yeah, I've never heard it, to be honest with you. I've heard people talk about it, but I've never actually had the guts to play
It's
it.
just different. It's just different. The guitar's good if it was a different band. That's what it is. It's just not
Yeah,
LA Guns. That's all. Tracii does good guitar, and it just
he
doesn't work.
he was just, like he was so desperate to go in another direction at that time, which
I get it.
was a big part of the reason we split up and went in different directions. I just didn't want to be that heavy. I didn't, it's like that Pantera stuff isn't.
Yeah,
It's not really for me at all. I mean, I don't mind a song or two, but like a whole concept, no, it's
right.
not. It's not for me.
And so to me, it was great. Like Vicious, though, like this album, no, it was like it's such a solid album. People started already talking about it. I've heard it. It's got the '70s feel. It's a good album from the beginning to end. I like it's a good solid way through. And I'm a big
Yeah,
fan of '70s and '80s rock, not just. So to me, this really, I'm more excited about this than the other three albums you guys have done, because it feels a lot more cohesive in a sound. I know there's a Zeppelin reference, but I also hear stuff
yeah.
like, but I also hear stuff because I'm a fan of the '70s. I hear like, you know, Slade and Sweet. I hear different influences in the harmonies there too. I don't just hear Zeppelin's easy for some people, maybe because it's younger generation.
It's so
But,
obvious, yeah.
but I hear a lot of other bands.
He don't care. He doesn't try and hide it. He's not pretending that he's not lifting. He enjoys it. He sits at home all day playing that guitar and putting these riffs together and yeah, of course we're gonna have stuff that is sound like Led Zeppelin because that's
Right.
his biggest influence.
It's
And
familiar
yeah,
sounding. It's
there's
not.
there's a song there's a song on this record. The Even If I Win.
Yeah.
Have you heard that?
Even if I win, if you win, no.
It's called Gonna Lose.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Gonna
yeah, yeah.
gonna,
That's a good song.
gonna
I was gonna talk about that one. That's a good one.
that is it's about as close to Zeppelin
Right.
as we've ever got, and certainly for me. And I was pretty happy the
That's one
way
of the best songs.
that
You
way
know.
it turned out. I was recording in New York, and I was doing. It was a long day in the studio. It was like two or three songs, and we put this one up just to see, to get a
Mhm.
feel for it. And I sang it, and I sang the verse pretty easily because it's not that difficult. And then the chorus came, and oh, it was like shit. I couldn't get anywhere near it. It was so high. And we were like, okay, all right, don't panic. We're going to rewrite it, and we'll come in tomorrow, and we'll make it sound cohesive. We'll put something
Yeah.
together. And so, I went home back to the hotel that night, and I just sort of chilled out, and I got a lot of sleep, and I thought about the song a lot. I listened to it a bunch of times, and I went in the next morning and knocked it out the park first take. It was just
Wow.
like yeah, yeah, but it wasn't easy, and I've explained to Tracii, I don't think I could do that live. I'm certainly not on a nightly basis. That's about
Yeah.
that's about about as high, about as the high as it gets for me, note wise, and and balls in a vice, twist very tightly wise. It was excruciating. It was really fucking hard, but it turned out great.
Now I was gonna say I think that should be the next single too. So man,
Uh, yeah.
it would be a good
No,
single. It would be.
well, the single, the song that dropped today was
It's
the ballad "Diamonds," and wow, we're getting good response on that.
a good
It
song.
uh, it is a good song. I mean, it's a very simple song. It's easy to relate to. It's easy to sing along to, and it seems people like it. I mean, we got like it's only been up a few hours, and we got like 2,000 people
Well,
looking at
the
it.
video too, right? The video came up too.
Yeah,
I didn't see it right before we went on. I know the video just came. I didn't see it. I knew it was coming out. I didn't actually see the video of it
yeah,
today
yeah.
yet.
It just came out this morning. We were, doing the finishing touches on it like as late as last night,
Wow,
and it dropped today, and yeah, it turned out really good.
it's a good song. I think if you think about some of your favorite songs, they're simple, but there's a brilliance in simple songs. The Beatles did it. Even some Zeppelin songs. Like a lot of bands do it. That's the hard part about making a brilliant, simple song. You know what I mean? If everybody can
Yeah,
write a simple song, they do it. You can't.
yeah.
You know.
I
Um,
think this album is very varied. When you've got like a clearly a metal track opening with "You Betray,"
yeah.
that screaming like Judas Priest metal style, um, and just the way Tracii likes it. And then there's a lot of gangy type, typical LA Guns songs in it, like "Wrong About You,"
Low life,
"Babylon,"
low
yeah,
life says.
"Low Life," and even it's a little bit cheesy, I'll admit, but it's fun. Crying, which has
Okay.
that big Cheap Trick chorus, which is it's such a huge uh gap from "You Betray." You got a song like "You Betray" at the beginning, and then towards the end we got a song like "Crying." It's like this band can do anything.
The solo on that too, it feels like it's a little bit different. Like he does a lot of good solos. I mean, but it feels like that solo stands out differently with the song. Like a lot of the songs, guitar solos are tailored to the music. This
Yeah,
one feels like it's like right next to it. Like it still goes with it, but it doesn't feel like it's like part of the song. It feels like it kind of branches out, does its own thing, and comes back in.
yeah,
It's a little
he's
bit. You
good
know what I'm
at
saying? It has a little something different to it. That
yeah,
solo.
yeah, he's good at stuff like that.
It's interesting. I like the fact, and we're kind of jumping around here, but shame.
Yeah. It's a good shuffle, isn't it? It's a good sleazy barroom
If
groove
it
that
is
one.
if that song, if you guys don't do that song live and mix that riff with its brother of Kiss My Love Goodbye, that riff is very similar,
It's very similar, isn't it? It's
but
like
it's beautiful. It's
slowed
related. They're like,
down.
but
Yeah,
you could
if
mesh it.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
that's I hadn't thought about that, but it's very
That would be
true.
fun. That would be a fun way
Yeah,
to kind of like play around with it because it's not stealing from it. I mean, it's your own music, it's your riff. Do what you want with it, but it has
we
that same
yeah,
swagger to it.
it does swagger. That's a good word for it. Yeah. If it sounds like we were having fun on this record, we definitely were. Especially, as I say, especially after all being locked up during the pandemic and not seeing each other. We're migratory creatures. We like to roam the world, and for us to be locked up in our own pens wasn't good. Wasn't good for us. Actually, in many ways, it was lucky that we had an album to work on, something to do,
How to get through it.
because otherwise, who knows? Like 2 years, it would have just been sitting there watching your hair grow.
Well, it's crazy, and I was thinking, like, it feels like they're putting a lot of albums out compared to a lot of other people. But then I look back at the timeline 2017, 219, 221, 220. It's like every 2 years. And back in the day, it was like that. It was an album, a tour, an album, a tour. But
Yeah,
with COVID, I think we lost track of time. It just feels like it's a lot of albums
yeah,
at once because it's been the world's longest year, 4 years.
yeah, yeah. Well, we were already embarked on the record before the pandemic.
Right.
We already like started putting it together, compiling and writing it. It just came as a shock that was just like, oh, okay, then this is going to be it. Then this is how we're going to do the whole thing. And it was, a bit of a challenge. I've got to say the least. To say the least, just having to sing and then do the engineering and exchange files and all that grown-up stuff. It was a pain, but as I said, gave us something to do.
Right. And that was for the the checkered password, right? You're talking about?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Just this one stands out differently to me, at least. It
Do
just
you
feels
like
like, yeah,
do you like a drug, or I like drugs?
it's
The
like a
last
drug.
song.
Using
Yeah.
like drugs.
Yeah.
I think the guitar riff, that dirty guitar sound,
Yeah.
really makes the song.
Oh, yeah. I think it might be my favorite. I mean, it changes all the time, but
Gonna Lose
Ace
is my
brought
favorite.
yeah, Ace brought it in, it does have that snotty punky vibe to it,
Absolutely.
and we've been having our powwows yesterday, and we're gonna that's it's difficult to pick out new songs for a set, especially when you've got 11. At best, you can get three. So picking that three was we were having a little bit of a debate yesterday, but I'm glad to say that Like a Drug ended up getting voted, and we're going to be playing that live at You Betray. And
Yeah.
Tracii was wrong about you. I think the boys are wrong about you. Ba, 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 ba,
Yeah.
ba. That's got a great swing to it.
Very
Um,
punky.
yeah. So I was hesitant to put this big beautiful ballad in right away because we're launching a new album, and it's a long song, it's a slow song, it's kind of a sad song, it's certainly melancholic,
Right.
and no, it's just like he's just like, God, we got to, this is our great ballad, and it is a great
Yeah.
ballad, but I don't think we're going to do it live just yet. But we could. I
No,
mean, I know I could sing it
we
on my
should.
head, but I just don't think that it's a long song to put a virgin audience through.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, it depends if you're opening for somebody, if it depends on what tour it is, but if you're doing your own shows, you guys can just do
Yeah,
longer sets and take a break. I mean,
yeah.
and
Well,
mix it
we'll
up.
know it. We'll know it. We'll see. We'll see how it feels. I'm really excited to do some of the punkier stuff
Right.
myself to get out there and
It's a good problem to have, though. I mean, because there's a lot of
yeah,
songs that
yeah.
aren't hits that are loved. It's just circle. People love a lot of songs up there, but it never really had any airplay. Like it's really great. You know what I mean? That people love
Oh
certain songs.
yeah. Oh,
So,
that was a it was a great record. I appreciate that. But we were doomed at that point. You
oh, I know, but I'm
understand?
saying you have a lot of good songs that the fans love that weren't even hit
Yeah.
singles that they would go crazy over, and not a lot of bands have albums, full complete albums where they're like, yeah, we just want to come see the hits. Like a lot of the fans would be like, yeah, I'd be great to throw some songs in there just because
Yeah.
of the quality.
Thank you. Yeah, we're old school. We're old fashioned. Tracii and I, we're uh, children of the '70s. We believe in an A side and a B side, and song placement and what song's going to go good after what other song. It's
Mm-hmm.
not all about a series of songs strung together and called an album. It really is a truly organic. It's a baby.
I agree. I
And
agree.
he loves doing them. I love doing them. Every time we embark on a record, I'm like, well, let's see what he's got, and it never disappoints. He's always got great ideas up his sleeve. Like the first time I heard the music to Diamonds,
Mm-hmm.
I just knew it was going to be epic. It wasn't going to be difficult to weave a melody around that, and yeah, just sometimes shit writes itself. It's so
Now,
yeah.
who's Mitch? I keep hearing about Mitch. What is this co-writing, songwriting, working partnership?
Oh, Mitch Davis is. I go to New York and I record all my vocals there. The band record wherever around the world, and I record at Mitch's. And Mitch is involved in very much involved in the song creations. He's a great musician. He's a good writer. He's kind of a jingle writer. Actually, you've probably heard tons of his stuff on TV. Um, it's sort of quirky stuff. And with how prolific Tracii is with his material, I need help. I admit it, and Mitch is real good at that, and we work well together. And I just enjoy the process, and sometimes I feel like Mitch and Tracii build these machines, these fantastic machines, and I
Yes.
get to drive. I get to drive them. I get to drive them as fast as I want. That's how it feels to me sometimes, and it's great.
Well,
No pressure.
Well, it works. It seems like you and Mitch have a working relationship.
Oh, I love him. I love him. I really do. I've learned so much from him. He's a good guy. He's a lot of fun to be with, and in many ways he's like Tracii. He brings out my best game. I don't fuck around when I'm with Tracii or with Mitch, because these guys are serious.
Well, I think you got to be able to trust him too, and you got to be able to be like, if I put this out here, you're not gonna crush me on it, but you're gonna be like,
Yeah,
okay, here's what we can do. Because if you can't do that as an artist, it's not gonna help the band, which is
Mitch.
the big thing.
Yeah, Tracii had been working. Mitch and Tracii had been working before the reunion. So it was, and I was really enjoying the stuff that they'd put together. So when Mitch was volunteering and to be on board, I was really happy about that.
That's great. That's great. Touring,
Because
where we,
all
yeah,
that all that cool vocal effects, it's all Mitch. He's
a lot
just
of echo, a lot
so
of reverb at
yeah,
the right
all
spots
the
though,
echo
not
and
too much.
reverbs and reverse echo, and that's Mitch. He's just a studio wizard, and I love that. I love working with him. Anyway, yeah, you were saying touring.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I was just thinking of the touring. So what are we doing for touring? Are you gonna be out on the road to do this?
Yeah, yeah, we got shows lined up. We
I
have
see California right now on the list.
yeah, pretty much just local stuff. We recently went through quite a few infrastructure changes with our management and agent. We basically we've been adopted by Tom Kiefer's people, and we needed help. We did, and they've stepped up and willing to help us and doing a great job. So. We're putting stuff together. Stuff like that takes a little while to fall into place. Everything, all the pieces together, but plenty of shows to keep us busy. And as you say, mostly like West Coast local stuff. But there's a run being put together in June that I know includes like Illinois and a lot of East Coast stuff. So stay posted.
Yeah, the tour is cool. It's great. If I went to the website, I was hoping there's gonna be more stuff. It's a very sparse website though. I think
As I
once you get
said,
management, they gotta
yeah,
put all your
yeah,
videos up on it.
yeah. As I said, we're just getting putting it all together right now, and yeah, it takes a while.
I get it. But my point is, I think for people, bookmark it because clearly there'll be more things to come on the website. It's important when people when they click on something, it's on a website, and they don't go back ever again. So we're just talking about it now that there will be things as things get back and running with you guys, so people check back to their website. Is my point.
Correct, correct.
Um,
Thank you.
yeah, and just a couple of questions. Is I know you guys did like you guys really redo albums, like you guys did like Cocked and Reloaded. I know usually bands do that for get paid better because the record labels always screw you guys over. I get that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And so obviously listening to your albums, you guys you did the greatest hits re-recorded one, that album. You know what I'm talking
Right.
about? There's a couple songs
Uh,
that you sing a little bit differently. Like I was expecting you like literally just kind of take a left turn on. Was that on purpose or just how you're singing at the time? Or
do you know any specific song you can
oh, that was the beginning. Even if you do like the Ballad of Jayne or something, you just sing it a little differently, a little deeper. Your phrasing is just a little different. And because they're hit singles, I was not expecting it. It's not like it's the end of the world, but I was like, I would listen to it. And obviously, it's always good to listen to the re-records because it supports the
oh
artist. I was
yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh, I was not expecting that. It just kind of felt like, what were you going on? What was the process there? I mean, not
I
the
was
end of the
bored.
world, but all right,
I was bored. I was
all right.
bored.
I'm
I
just putting
admit
out there.
it.
I don't.
Yeah, no, it's true, and I've done them. I've done, like the re-recordings and I've done them like countless times, and I just felt like doing something different um, at that time. I thought it might be sort of cute, like sort of Bowie-ish, something David might do.
I think if you
Um,
did it reimagined and just didn't do it as a re-record as a hits, because
yeah,
you're not
yeah.
expecting that.
Okay, so I take it I'm being scolded then.
You're a good man. I don't need to scold you. I'm just saying I wasn't expecting that. I
Yeah,
listened to the music. I wasn't expecting. I didn't understand the process of it because it does feel differently. Like Mike Tramp's doing like some White Lion songs now, but he's singing it
yeah.
differently as he wants to. But it's not saying it's the greatest hits. He's saying it's reimagined or it's how I do it,
Yeah,
which is kind of fun.
yeah. Right.
But
No, I don't think we'll be doing anything like that again. I'm just so wrapped up. We're so wrapped up and, going
well,
forward.
it's good
And
with
we've
original
done,
music, yeah.
yeah, we've done all the re-recordings anyway.
That's the whole point is to get your stuff back. It's your money. You should make money
Yeah,
on your own stuff, right?
exactly.
Two last things. So I know you do a lot of solo stuff. You work on anything kind of solo stuff you ever going to do? Put some stuff out, even if you don't do a lot of
Yeah.
touring with it.
No, I'm gonna I've got stuff I've recorded. I'm doing. I'll even do some of my own shows. I'll do some acoustic shows. When everything's settled, when I know what's
Right.
going on. I'd like to do that like it's the summer, towards the end of the summer, if we're not too busy.
Yeah.
Last summer was insane. We were so busy. I would definitely like to do something a bit more personal this year if I can. But yeah, definitely stuff going on in there.
Good. It'd be good to see something like that because it'd be a shame because there was some good stuff that came out of those albums when it was you playing guitar.
Thank
And
you.
and yeah, you're welcome. And I think that Tracy's a great guitar player, but you can't compare people or it's the product of what you get, the sound of what you guys get, even the original lineup or whatever lineup it is. It's all the pieces together that make the sound. And each lineup you
Yeah,
have made a certain sound.
we did.
And
Yeah.
depending on who hears it at what age in their life, they're not going to let go of it.
Thank you. That's great. Like personal
So
soundtrack, isn't it?
it can be, and I think that's why classic lineups and legacy touring and stuff is harder for bands when it's a different lineup or something. I think that's why people just don't get over it. Instead of saying they're an artist, it's a job. They still have to pay their bills, and life changes. And you can like both.
Right. Well,
Uh,
unfortunately, I'm all right. I'm set. I've got enough money to last me the rest of my life,
that's
unless I'm dead by Tuesday.
that's awesome. So I want to thank you for giving some time today and talk about the album. And it April 14th, right? It drops the 14th, the full album,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's right.
and people can check it out. There's a lot of great songs on it. To me, I think it's one of
Thank you.
my
We're real
favorite albums.
happy with it, and appreciate the support. And you passed the test. You've clearly listened to it. I appreciate that.
Yeah, since it came out, I'm a big fan. All right, I want to thank you. People check out all the stuff, and Phil, thank you very much. Hopefully, I'll see you
Thank you, Sean.
before.
Thank you.